Module 2, Regular Tune-Ups and Oil Changes. Welcome back. In the first lesson, we provided an overview of how car costs can add up. We briefly explained a few tips that might help you save some extra money. The first tip is to get regular tune-ups and oil changes. You might think that spending money on these maintenance services isn't saving you money. We're going to show you why spending on routine maintenance will prevent more costly maintenance over time. So what are oil changes and tune-ups? Oil changes involve replacing the oil and oil filter in your car. This helps to keep your engine running smoothly. Tune-ups include the replacement of old or worn-out parts of your car. Think of tune-ups like a checkup for your car's health. Both oil changes and tune-ups are considered preventative maintenance. Preventative maintenance will prevent your car from having more serious problems in the future. Let's take a look at how this tip can reduce your overall auto maintenance costs. You've probably heard that you should get an oil change for every 7,000 miles that you drive. No matter how often you drive, you should get an oil change at least once every 12 months. Oil changes generally cost anywhere from $20 to $100. The difference in price of an oil change depends upon what type of oil your car needs. Newer cars take full synthetic or blended synthetic oils. If your car needs full synthetic oil, you can expect to pay close to $100 per oil change. Blended synthetic oils will cost roughly around $40 to $50 per oil change. Conventional oil, which is generally only used in older cars, costs less, but will need to be replaced more often. What's important to know is that oil changes are necessary to keep your car running. You don't want to try to cut costs on your regular oil changes. You should never prolong getting an oil change. If your car is due for an oil change, take care of it as soon as possible. You also shouldn't try to cut costs by opting for a cheaper oil option than your car requires. If your car takes a full synthetic oil, you won't be saving yourself any money by opting for a cheaper or lower quality oil. Using a type of oil that isn't recommended for your car is dangerous and can wind up costing you a lot of money. Oil lubricates your car's engine. Going too long without getting an oil change could cause your car to run low on oil. Low oil could mean that your engine doesn't have enough oil to lubricate the moving parts. Having low oil will cause wear on the parts that help your car to run efficiently. Having too little oil in your car will lead to costly repairs because parts of your engine that have been worn down will need replacing. So, if you try to save money by avoiding regular oil changes, you could wind up with a bill for thousands of dollars in auto repairs and replacement parts. Replacing your oil regularly makes a difference in the longevity of your engine. You also shouldn't try to fill the oil yourself without draining the old oil. Driving with dirty oil will cause buildup in your engine, which could cause engine failure. In a worst-case scenario, you might have to replace your entire car. Let's look at an example of what could happen if you don't take care of preventative maintenance for your car. Let's say your car takes full synthetic oil, meaning it runs on the pricier end of oil changes. You drive about 15,000 miles per year, so you normally get about 2 oil changes each year. You decide that getting oil changes is a waste of money. After tax, you're spending over $100 every time you take your car in for an oil change. After a year of not getting an oil change, your car won't start. You get your car towed, which costs you $100. When the mechanic looks at your car, he tells you that your car overheated, which caused your engine to blow a gasket. The total repair for this is $1,900. In this example, you can see how trying to save a buck by avoiding an oil change service will cost you more long term. Don't put off your car's preventative maintenance services. Maintenance that could have cost you around $100 per service will wind up costing you a lot more if you don't take care of it in a timely manner. It's important to pay attention to your auto manufacturer's recommendation for oil changes. Every car is different. To determine the oil change practices that you need to follow, check your car's owner's manual. You can also look up this information online by searching your car's year, make, and model. Be aware of what type of oil your car takes and how often it is recommended to change the oil. It might seem inconvenient to pay up to $100 every time your car needs an oil change, However, keep in mind that staying on top of your car's oil needs will save you money long term. If your car breaks down because you neglected to change the oil, you'll have to pay a lot more than $100. When you take your car in to get an oil change or tune-up, there are other services that you may be offered. It's important to know which auto maintenance services your car needs. You may be offered car services such as a tire rotation, installation of a new battery, new oil filter, new windshield wipers, etc. You should keep tabs on when these items were last replaced on your car. These auto maintenance services may be necessary if it is time to replace them. As mentioned before, you can check your owner's manual to find out the recommended replacement time for these parts. Just because a service is offered does not mean that you are required to purchase the service now. Understanding your car's maintenance schedule is vital for knowing when the service may be essential versus optional. If your car needs an oil change, you should get it replaced right away. Staying on top of your recommended vehicle services will keep your car running efficiently. If you neglect important vehicle services like oil changes and replacing worn-out parts, your car won't run as well. If your engine isn't functioning well because of neglected services, you will spend more money in fuel costs and eventually have to pay expensive repair bills. By taking preventative measures, you will cut down on the long-term cost of maintaining your car. Although preventative maintenance is an unavoidable cost, you have a choice in where you get your auto maintenance done. In the next lesson, we'll give you tips on shopping for the best auto maintenance rates to reduce your overall costs. See you then.